So when I was in about ninth grade, I transitioned from being a camper in day camp to being a counselor. I ended up becoming a counselor for first graders. And I had some leadership roles over the years, working as a baseball umpire and some other things, mentoring students and tutoring students. But this was a totally different animal. I didn't know who the campers were going to be. Were they going to be hard people to work with? Were the parents going to be difficult? Were they going to be constantly calling me? But when I went in there the first day, I had a group of about 20 people, and I had a head counselor that was older than me, and I also had another co-assistant counselor that worked with me. So I remember it was probably the first week of camp, and it went into July 4th, really the true start of summer. And there were campers from all different towns in Long Island, and I introduced myself. I said, my name is Rich, I'm going to be your assistant counselor this year, and they really took a liking to me. They really loved the way that I communicated with them. They loved the way that I treated them, because I really think that it's important that you treat everyone like an adult in pretty much all situations. So they really took a liking to that. And as one of the leaders of the group, I taught them many different things throughout camp, even just certain little things on how to hold the basketball. I still remember this moment that I was in camp where there was this one first grader that didn't really know how to hold the basketball. He was holding it different ways, and he just when he jumped up, he really didn't get the right loft to get it in. But I showed him a different way to, hold the basketball, and it was just awesome the way that he, learned from what I taught him. And I remember, at the end of that summer, I remember the parent writing a custom card to me at the end, thanking me for teaching their son how to hold the basketball. And it was just an amazing moment in my life to see that me as a counselor, an educator, a mentor, could help, someone that is growing in their lives and teaching people. And I think in life, that's just super important, whether you are the boss of your company, whether or not you are working with colleagues, treat them right and teach them. Because ultimately that could help you. When I was teaching these kids in camp, helping one another, being respectful and having the sportsmanship, I think was super important. I think that transitioning from being a camper to a counselor, and then eventually even a little bit higher up in the counselor role, just helped me, in life. And this was when I was only about, 16, 17 years old. And this is going back a little bit, but I was still young and I was learning myself. And I learned from my head counselor. He taught me certain things. For example, there's certain things that come up being a counselor, arguments between the campers or even between counselors or other groups or leader heads. When I learned from him and I applied those techniques to life in general and what I'm doing today.